Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hold on. I just wanted to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I know I'm on very early today. Well, at least it's early for me. I was up at 6 a.m. I'm on the East Coast. It is now 8:54. Okay. So, welcome, welcome. If this is your first time seeing me, hi, my name is Jennifer. I'm a Reiki master, intuitive reader, Heyoka empath. Excuse me. I have been a reader and an empath my entire life. I was born with these gifts. I did not know how to control them when I was younger, so I shut myself down energetically, and then I woke myself back up. And I shouldn't say I did, it was really all God. God woke me back up within the spiritual path. And as such, I have taken what I've learned from my work, not only through myself, but also my clients, because I'm a massage therapist and I receive messages while working on clients. So I've taken the information that I've received and I've also put it into a spiritual guidebook. But another thing that I'm going to be offering is a live Zoom class. And this live Zoom class will be Saturday, August 15th, so not this Saturday, the following Saturday, okay? And I'm going to be doing it at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Being that it is a Zoom link, it will be downloaded, so if you can't make it at 10 a.m., obviously you can watch it at a later date. Okay. And essentially this will be an emotional intelligence workshop to help you cultivate better awareness of that pause and reflect moment. And it also, I will be going into a little bit of detail about the different layers of interaction that we go through from an energetic perspective as well. Okay. So it's not just physical root stuff. This is all things combined in one. Okay. So if you're interested, there's the flyer that I made for it. It's only $25 to attend and it's 60 minutes per, and then I'm going to have a 15-minute Q&A session at the end. Oh, I'm also going to be doing distant Reiki during it as well. So whatever it is that we're discussing within the session towards the end, I will do a group distant Reiki session to help you release what it is that you are ready to release, and also to ground and anchor in higher levels of awareness and consciousness. Okay. And again, every person will receive something different because everybody is on a different step of their journey home. Okay. We're all making it home. Some of us might be here. 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 And that is okay. Okay. This workshop is meant to meet you exactly where you are, because this tool that I will be teaching is something that can be utilized not only on your day-to-day dealings with your internal world, your mind, but also your emotions, your creativity, your work life, your relationships, and even your connection with God. Okay. So in case you're interested, there's the flyer for it. Oh, and I also want to talk about what Action Universe is. So, in my book, I wrote a little bit about Action Universe, but I didn't really go into detail about it. I was working as an on-site manager, and even though I was an on-site manager, I felt like I could be doing more, right? I felt like I wasn't actually doing what my soul was here to do. And so I prayed to God and I asked God to show me what my purpose is and to help me to just give me more insight, right? And what had happened was a few months later, when I was working one day as an on-site manager, I just felt so compelled to open up my laptop and start writing. I wrote out a 26-page business plan in 3 hours all by myself. I'd never written a business plan before in my life. This was before AI, before any sort of software out there to help you write anything of that nature, okay? 26 pages of a business plan, fully written out. I'm getting full body chills. I channeled that within 3 hours. And that is what Action Universe is. So Action Universe essentially will be a school. And this school will be for children as well as adults. I'm going to be starting the pilot program for adults because I want adults to know what it is that I'm offering. And also, if these adults have children, they would be more comfortable allowing their children to come to Action Universe, right? Because obviously you want to know what you're getting your child into. I mean, I would want to know. I don't have children myself, but obviously I would want to know if I had my own child. Like, I'm not just going to send my child somewhere and not know what the heck is going on, right? Okay, so then another aspect of Action Universe, it is my intention through Action Universe to teach emotional intelligence. Also to help children to expand and learn more about their psychic and intuitive gifts. Why? I was born psychic and intuitive, just like a lot of children are born psychic and intuitive, but I did not have the tools that I needed to understand my gifts. I also did not have the tools that I needed to be comfortable with them, to feel safe, right? And so what happened was I ended up shutting myself down. So my goal is to basically catch them before they fall, right? Catch the children before they fall, before they shut themselves down. And again, it's not just children, it's adults too. But if we can really help children, right? If we can help cultivate emotional intelligence within children, also compassion, more empathy, more awareness, more mindfulness, right? We then help to catapult our country, our world into the next level, right? And when I say next level, I mean next level of everything, next level of consciousness, next level of light bodies, next level of worldly organizations and systems, okay? We allow the future to prosper when we focus on our children, when we focus on raising mentally and emotionally sound human beings, right? Because when you're mentally and emotionally sound, you are able to navigate problems a lot easier, okay? There's no such thing as challenges. They simply become checkpoints for you to cross off, and it becomes fun. Life becomes fun again, right? Okay, so that's a little bit about Action Universe, and it goes a lot deeper. I already have, I have child safety protocols set up in place. That was my first and most important thing that I decided to set up within Action Universe, because child safety is my number one priority. Number one priority is protecting all the babies. Number one priority, hands down. Okay, so that was one of the first things that were cultivated. The second things that were cultivated within Action Universe are the pillars. And the pillars are basically the foundational belief systems that Action Universe was founded on. Integrity, compassion, respect, honor, and wisdom. And there's more, okay? I'm just giving you a short little burst of what it is. And another thing that's really cool about Action Universe is it's going to be a hands-on school. So what does that mean? The school systems that we have currently in place in the United States, they're very much, how do I say this? It's like a prison complex system, right? You go into a building, the bell rings, and you're forced to sit down at a desk and listen to a teacher teach to you, or just talk at you for 45 minutes. Then the bell rings and you get up and you go to another class. I know some people benefited from that type of learning structure, but I myself being neurodivergent, I myself being highly in tuned, highly empathic, and I grasped concepts a lot faster than most. I felt like I was drowning in school, okay? I felt like I wasn't being seen. I felt like I wasn't being paid attention to. I felt like I was being pushed aside. And I felt like the learning style of school did not match me. When I learned, I need hands-on. I want to touch it. I want to feel it. I want you to teach me how to do it. If you can teach me how to do it hands-on, I will learn that in a day. But if you want me to sit there and memorize and regurgitate words back to you, I'm going to struggle with that, because what is that doing for me? What am I actually learning, right? And so I struggled with school because I felt like I'm just sitting in prison. And so that was another reason why Action Universe really was born, because Action Universe is a place where children and adults will be able to come and utilize not only their physical body through somatic awareness, activities and sports. I would like to include gymnastics. I would also like to include martial arts in there as well. I would also like to include painting, creative arts. I would also like to include an emotional intelligence, where you're understanding the different layers of emotions, why it is that we feel certain things, how can we respond to crisis situations within ourselves and even around us better, okay? So these are the types of things that I feel children and even adults would benefit so greatly from. And it's something that we lack in the United States completely. And I feel in most public school systems, which I went to a public school, I also went to a private school, and then I went back to high school in a public school, we are not taught how to be emotionally resilient. We're not taught emotional intelligence. We are not taught empathy and compassion. We are taught to be robots, okay? And clearly that has not worked out for our world. All right. So enough about Action Universe. That's a little bit about Action Universe. And again, This pilot program that I'm starting, this is for adults, okay? So in this pilot program, in this live Zoom workshop, we are going to be talking about emotional intelligence, emotional resilience, and I'm also going to be teaching you a tool. So enough about that, and now let's get into what you came here for, right? A reading. Okay. All right, so I'm going to ground because I can feel my energy floating. So I want to ground so I can channel the most accurate information for everybody here. And just so you know, when I'm channeling, I'm connecting to the Most High, Holy, Holy, Holy Creator. The Creator that created all creators, that was created by none. Okay, the Most High, Holy Source is my connection point at all times. So that being said, I need to ground in. If you consent to receive this message, just say, I consent. Again, remember, this is an energy exchange and you have free will. Your free will dictate whether or not a message is meant for you and you receive it properly, essentially, right? Okay, so I'm hearing shuffle. Okay. Shuffle. The color green might be significant. I know I'm wearing the color green, but I'm seeing the color green in my mind's eye. So remember, the color green correlates to your heart chakra. Some of you may be asked to be opening up your heart chakra more. You may also be going through heart chakra healing at this time. There is this green energy, though, being imbued in and around you as we are speaking. The green energy, I'm also hearing Archangel Raphael. So you may be connected, or you may have a connection to the archangels or the angelic realm. Archangel Raphael is a very sound healer. And what I mean by that is he is very much about his business. He does his business and then goes. I'm going to stop. Okay. So now I'm going to look at all the cards I flipped. Woo! Okay. First and foremost, Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands, very passionate, very fiery, very in-your-face energy, okay? But Knight of Wands, we're not focusing on the egotistical aspect of it, right? We're focusing on the higher aspect. The higher aspect of the Knight of Wands is somebody who's seated in their co-creation role. Is somebody who is allowing themselves to ride the waves of creation with the highest integrity in mind. That is the highest version of the Knight of Wands energy. Wands energy, for me, in my opinion, represents the eternal flame, right? The sacred heart, the eternal flame, that eternal spark of the divine, that eternal light that is imbued within all of creation. Without that spark and flame, nothing can stand. Nothing will be created, right? You need that spark and that light, that reignition point, okay? And you might be called at this time to look at past projects and even relationships I'm hearing, and I'm pointing to my left eye. I know it's flipped in the camera. Left eye represents feminine energy and what we're receiving. So what it is that you're receiving visually, I would like you to work on transmuting that. How can you do that? Let me tell you. You can, did you know this? This is how amazing we are, okay? This is how, and also how amazing God is, because it's all by the grace of God. You can set the intention that anything your eyes lay upon, that as you're, okay, I set the intention that as my eyes lay upon anything or everything, or you can set a specific thing, okay? That the light of the Most High Creator is also imbued as I look upon it, okay? So what does that do? What you're doing is then you are now activating the portals within your eyeballs, right? Your visual perception. You're activating your mental body, your emotional body, your physical body, as well as your astral body, and your light body, and you are connecting that all to God. And when you do that, God becomes a filter for what you see. And God also, by becoming a filter for what you see, imbues the energy of God into what it is that you see. So why is that beneficial? Well, a few reasons why it's beneficial. You start activating the highest level of consciousness to anchor into what it is that you're observing. Do you guys realize how powerful that is? You anchor in the Holy Spirit of God by allowing God to witness through you, but also work through you. That is an activation. That is an act of also surrender. But it also has to be a free will choice, right? Nobody can choose that for you except yourself, which is why we are co-creators, right? Which is why we also have free will, which is why at the beginning of the reading, I said you have to consent to this reading to even receive the messages because of your free will. Your free will dictates what it is that you allow within and around you, and also what it is that you allow your energy to interact with. Does that make sense? Okay. Oh! We have the sun on the bottom of the deck. Okay, and look at how perfect this is. See, we're releasing any fears that we have on eye symbolism, right? Because God gave us eyes for a reason. So we have no reason to fear an eyeball. Okay? So if that's a fear, let's laugh at ourselves. Let's laugh. Whoa, how silly that we're afraid of symbolism of an eye when we have two. We are greater than this single eye because we have two. Okay, so if there's any fear tied, I'm seeing a dollar bill in my mind's eye. Okay, so if you have any fears tied to any groups or individuals who may use this as a symbol, just laugh it off because you're far more greater than it. Okay? Okay, now that that's over, how perfect is this that the sun is at the bottom of the deck, right? When you allow God to witness life through your eyes, you allow, the light of the sun to radiate through what it is that you're witnessing. You allow the light of the Most High God, if you want to call him Jesus, to witness what it is that you are witnessing. And when you allow that to happen, you allow growth to happen. You allow life and creation energy to be imbued into what it is that you are witnessing, all by setting the intention that, God, I ask you to activate my sight so that what it is that I see, you may see it too, and that you may show me what it is that I need to see for my highest good. Okay, so maybe that's something you should try to do today too. All right, so now I'm gonna keep going. My friends, I know some of you are asking me questions down below for personal questions. If you would like a personal reading, please reach out to me. This is going to be a general reading. Okay, this is a general message, but even though it's a general message, there are hidden themes that are specific to you. Let those who have eyes to see, and ears to hear. That's essentially meaning look below the surface, read between the lines, and listen to not just what's being said, right? Listen from a higher perspective. Maybe now is the time to activate our ears. Holy, highest, divine Father, Mother, God of the Most High, holy, holy Creator, the one that has created all creators and created by none. I ask you now to activate my ears for my highest good so that you may speak to me clearly so that I may hear what it is that you would like me to hear for my highest good. And I also set the intention that you clear any attachments that I may have to my ears or what it is that I am hearing, especially if they are from my ego or any low vibrational energies, entities, beings, cords, bindings, attachments, hexes, spells, whatever they do here. Okay? Whatever you want to add to it. Okay. It's your choice. Okay, so that being said, Ace of Wands energy. Why is the Ace of Wands coming out, right? Ace of Wands is reminding you that you are co-creator with God, okay? As the Ace of Wands comes up with the Knight of Wands, what does this do? This activates, this makes the knight turn into a king. A king is much more powerful than a knight, is it not? And so if you yourself alone are a knight, but then when you activate the ace, the source, right? the Most High, when you activate the ace into your own energy field, they want me to show you these two cards that come out. You get the Hanged Man, and you also get the Hermit. Why is this significant? First and foremost, if you don't know tarot, the Hanged Man represents a different level of awareness, viewing things from a different perspective, right? This Hanged Man, if he's upside down, he's seeing things from a different perspective, right? Because when we're upside down, everything looks different, right? And so when you activate God, the ace, the highest source, into you, your co-creation power, your energy field, your mind, your eyes, your heart, your soul, your body, all the things that make you you, your DNA even. Did you know you could do that? You could do that. You could do that, okay? Your DNA even. You allow things to change. You allow perspectives to change. You allow realities to change. You allow emotions to change. You allow mindsets to change. You allow people's bodies to change. Your physical body then starts to change. You allow activations to take place. You allow yourself to become a beacon where literally you just walk in the room and people get turned on like a light switch. And not in that nasty sense. People get turned on to their soul. Oh, and they want me to talk about something else. Okay. People get turned on to their soul. Okay, what else happens? You then ignite the hidden wisdom within others. You then ignite the hidden wisdom within yourself. You then ignite the hidden wisdom and gifts lying dormant within your DNA, just waiting for you to activate. So that you can become superhuman, so that you can walk this earth just as Christ did. That's why it's there. Oh, full body chills. Full body chills, okay? Okay, so now we're going to touch base with this activation getting turned on. Because this is important, my friends. I had this discussion with my bestie yesterday. Okay, everybody has Kundalini energy. First and foremost, everybody has Kundalini energy. Do not be afraid of the label of the name of which they decided to call the life force energy of the Most High God. Whatever label they have for it, whatever human design has created, or whatever human language has formed to put a mark on what the consciousness and soul force energy of God is, whether they call it life force, whether they call it chi, whether they call it ki, whether they call it Li is the pattern, right? Li is the pattern of which energy form, so that wouldn't be Li. There's so many different names for life force energy, right? In Reiki, you learn it as life force, but it's definitely the consciousness of God. Okay, so everybody has this, right? And a lot of now people are learning Kundalini energy. Same thing as life force energy, okay? What happens? Everybody has this. However, once people feel it for the first time, I can't show you something. Hold on. I'll just move back. When everybody gets activated, right? And the first time people feel any sort of energy surge, and my eyes itching because this happens a lot more in men, masculine side, okay? But also this is the plight of men I'm hearing, okay? So the first time we start to feel energy surging in our body, where does it activate? It doesn't activate here. A volcano doesn't start from the top and work its way down, does it? I'll wait. When you've seen a volcano erupted, when was the last time you saw a volcano erupt from the top down? It doesn't happen, right? Okay, now visualize your body as that volcano. The center of that volcano is your spinal cord, okay? Your cerebrospinal fluid that encases your spinal cord. That is that hollow point of the volcano, okay? Stay with me here. When the volcano starts to get active, it starts way at the bottom. Things start rumbling, right? Rocks start moving. And it starts rising. In our physical bodies, if we're a volcano and the top of the volcano is here and the bottom of the volcano is our private parts, where do you think the energy starts to move first? Where do you think humans start to feel that flow of energy? Down there. So they get aroused and they're like, ooh, I must like this person. Ooh, I'm so turned on. ooh, this must mean something. You're so close. It does mean something. However, you're attaching it down there. The volcano doesn't have emotions that it attaches itself to as the lava is rising. Imagine. Could you imagine if a volcano was like, oh my God, I'm getting so turned on. Let me just explode my lava at the very core of the earth and melt everything. What? Like, no. Okay, but let's stay with me. So humans, we get aroused, right? That's our energy, our kundalini activating. And because it's starting at our base chakra, our root chakra, what gets activated? The physical cells around in that area. And what is that? Our privates, right? Okay, so now that you know this, if you were to recognize, ooh, I'm getting that feeling, and then work on pulling it up to your heart and then up out of your heart to source, do you know what you do? You then start activating every single chakra from there on. Okay? And depending on where it is that there is a block, okay? Block, what I mean by block is where it is that your chakra is not moving properly, where it is that there might be some emotional residue, some mental residue from the past, some trauma from the past, okay? When the energy rises, wherever it releases is where you need to do the most work. So if your energy starts to rise and you can't get your energy level past your privates to go up and you're just like, I'm just so horny and I don't know, like that's it. That means that there's some root chakra stuff that you have to work through, some internal trauma and even external trauma, okay? When it comes to security, safety, stability, being comfortable in your body, being accepted, interpersonal relationships with your family, especially loved ones, okay? Whether or not you were abused mentally, emotionally, physically as a child and even a young adult, okay? Those are some of the things that will start to get activated when it starts to come up, okay? So now let's say you start to get activated, right? It skips the arousal point, okay? It goes past like your belly button, so it's going up to your solar plexus now, and all of a sudden it hits here and you want to, like, either you want to throw up or you want to run away. That shows that your solar plexus chakra has some trauma. So what does that trauma look like? Well, solar plexus has to do with our willpower, right? Our solar plexus also has to do with our courage and our strength. So if your solar plexus has trauma there, that could be maybe you were forced to hide from situations that were threatening to you. Maybe you were forced to keep yourself small because you were afraid you were going to get hurt, okay? You could have been afraid you were going to get killed. You could have been afraid you were going to be silenced. You could be afraid that somebody's going to try and take you out, right? Taking your power away, okay? So now, why am I saying this? I'm saying this so that we as a species, as a collective, can, one, not fear Kundalini energy because it's not devilish. It's not. It's a natural energy process that happens within our body. We have just labeled it as humans as Kundalini, even though it's quite literally the life force energy of our creator surging within us. Okay? So, another thing also I'm being asked to mention, and I only know about this because of personal experiences. If as a child you found that you were so hyperactive sexually, that is a clear, and I'm saying as a young child, like between the ages of 4 and 7, if in those ages you found that you were so hypersexual, I'm going to preface this by saying there is a high chance that you were abused in some way, shape, or form. Okay? So if you were ever struggling with that or wondering why have I always been so hypersexual? What is it about me? Like, why am I so horny all the time? Blah, blah, blah. If that is something that you have struggled with, more likely than not, there was some sort of abuse that happened to you down there as a child that you blocked out to protect yourself. Okay? So that is coming up for a reason, because this may be something that somebody who is either listening now or in the past or in the future that will be listening, because I will post this message, may have experienced. So if that's the case, first and foremost, forgive yourself for carrying that, because that is not, you're not terrible for it. You're not a bad person. There's nothing wrong with you. You just didn't know. You didn't know. You weren't nurtured properly, and I'm sorry. Okay. And again, if you would like more work on this one-on-one, please reach out to me. Don't ever write anything like that in the comments, because that is so personal, and we do not need the whole world knowing everybody's business, right? Because this is sacred. This is so sacred. Okay. So I know that was a lot. That was a lot that came out. A lot. I'm going to see if there's anything else that wants to come through. So as I'm shuffling one final time, I'm just going to remind anybody that's coming in now or just recently joined, I will be teaching an emotional resilience workshop. It'll be a Zoom workshop Saturday, August 15th at 10 a.m. It's only $25 to attend. It's a 75-minute event. The workshop itself will be 60 minutes, and I'll leave 15 minutes for questions afterwards. And again, being that it's Zoom, it will be recorded. So even if you can't attend the live session, you will have a chance to watch it after. Okay. And this again is the pilot program for the school that I would like to start for children and adults, which is called Action Universe. So yes, just wanted to make sure if anybody's joining now that you are aware of why this is up here. Like, what's up with us? Oh, and also the slogan for Action Universe will be greater than good. That is our slogan. Be greater than good. Okay. All right, my friends. So final messages for today. We have the Moon and the Five of Pentacles. So important. And so what a perfect way to end the reading, quite literally. The Moon card represents deep hidden emotions. The Five of Pentacles represents things that made us feel like we were left out in the cold. Okay. So your homework, if you would like some homework, if you would like to help yourself release anything that you are carrying even further, what you can do is first find a comfortable space. Make sure you're not going to be disturbed. Make sure you are comfortable, dressing comfortably, fuzzy socks, fuzzy blankets, warm things. Obviously, if it's too hot for you, don't overdo it. You know what I mean? Just be comfy. Get a cup of tea. Maybe you don't like tea. Maybe you like coffee. Whatever your thing is. Get comfortable. The more comfortable you are, the safer your nervous system feels, the easier information is exchanged between your body and yourself. Okay? So, first and foremost, we're going to get comfortable. Then once we get comfortable, we're going to make ourselves aware that we are in a safe space. This is an internal reflection point, and we allow the most cathartic holy healing to take place, okay? After you've set that intention for your session with yourself, okay, for your homework, allow yourself to explore any emotions, situations, people, places, and things from the past and even present that have made you felt left out in the cold. That is what Five of Pentacles represents, okay? And as you allow yourself to explore these situations, these people, these places, okay? Ask the highest Holy Spirit, the highest God, right? The highest source of all consciousness, the highest source of you, the creator of all creators, created by none, to assist you with releasing and also seeing your experiences from the highest level of knowing, to help you further release, but also to help you further integrate wisdom into your physical body, your mental body, your emotional body, your spiritual body, your DNA, and the reality around you. Okay? Utilize this going forward. And again, if you would like a one-on-one session, reach out to me. I will never reach out to you. And if you would like me to send you more information about the Resilience in Action, I can always send you the Facebook link for it. But again, just reach out to me, because if I send it to everybody, they spam it. And I don't want to be spam. You know, I'm not spam. I love you. All right. So I hope everybody enjoyed today's session. Thank you so much. If you want to take a screenshot of this, go ahead and take a screenshot.